and gentlemen, my name is Zheng, and yes, my first name is exactly like the search engine website, Bing.com. As a senior nursing student this year, this is my fourth time attending the Reflection of Excellence ceremony. However, tonight is my first time standing here telling you my story. My nursing story, that is. When Kathy Gable approached me over the summer and asked if I would be the student speaker for this evening, I was surprised, honored, and let's not forget, anxiously fearful because my main concern was, what makes my story special? How can I express my gratitude toward my donors and inspirational figures without boring my audience? Nonetheless, I shall begin. I was born in a town called Fuzhou on the southeast coast of China. I continued to live there for the first 12 years of my life. In 2001, I immigrated to America. I am not going to lie, the transition was painfully hard. On top of being separated from the grandparents who raised me since I was young, I had to learn to speak all over again in a brand new language. Fast forward to 2010, when I was a senior in high school, and it was time to apply for colleges and choose my professional destiny. Get ready, because this is where the story of the plot turns with a dramatic irony. Nursing was not a first option for me at all. As a matter of fact, nursing was never an option that crossed my mind. Growing up, I had tried to distance myself from the healthcare world because as a sick child, I had enough of it with the weekly injections and the daily medications. Hence, I applied to NYU instead with a fashion degree. And I was accepted. So how in the world did I become a nursing student? The answer is complex. Coming from an Asian family, I was told to choose a practical career. So with the three options given to me by my various family members, pharmacy, doctor, or nursing, nursing was the winner. For quite a while, I was scared for my future. Knowing my luck, I was definitely afraid that I had made the wrong choice. I doubted myself, and it did not help when my mother, who was very disappointed that I did not pick her option, pharmacy, was doubting me also. Perhaps most important of all, I felt guilty toward my future patients that they would have a nurse like me. I still distinctly remember the orientation to UCONN School of Nursing, when all the freshmen had to answer that dreadful question. Why did you want to become a nurse? Everyone else's answer was so perfect. Nursing is something they had dreamed of since they were young. However, then there was my answer. I wanted to become a nurse because I had to. Nonetheless, I felt like an imposter, a liar. But not anymore. And never will I feel like that again, because that was the old me. The person standing here today is a proud nursing student who has never been so sure of her life direction. The critical moment came about during my first semester of junior year, when I was just starting my clinical rotation. He was my third patient at the time, recovering from his double leg amputations due to poorly controlled diabetes. An elderly man with dementia, he did not say a single word to me during the entire shift, despite my best efforts to spark conversations with him. Nonetheless, toward the end of the day, I went into his room and said my goodbye. That was when he suddenly took my hand and kissed it and said, "Thank you. You will become a great nurse one day." Both his wife and I looked at each other in utter disbelief because the patient talked to me after the entire day. On my drive back to the campus afterwards, I had this epiphany that changed my life. The patient's words kept echoing in my head. Slowly but surely, they washed away all the doubts that were haunting me the entire time regarding my nursing path. I called my grandmother, my aunts, and my mother the same day and told them how I know I want to be a nurse now. I am a firm believer that everything happens in life for a reason. Somehow and somewhere, my GPS in life took an unexpected turn toward nursing as a professional path. Instead of looking at it as a glitch in the system or a mistake, I now believe that it was meant to be. Despite the twists and turns and the detours, my GPS in life finally took me to my destination. I meant to be a nurse, and I definitely belong here. Looking back, I find it rather ironic that while I was my nursing decision. Pure strangers have faith in me instead. Patients whom I had short-term relationship with saw the nursing potential in me when I was blind to it. Donors like the Adamat family and the Biner family had faith in my nursing future when I did not. However, now I know better. Now that everything has fallen into pieces for me, both professionally and academically, I feel a sense of serenity rather than being lost. Over the summer, I was working on the oncology units at the UCONN Health Center's John Dempsey Hospital as part of the nursing summer internship program. Although I was sad that I was not able to go to China and visit my grandparents like I did every summer, I am glad that I took on this internship because I matured so much as a nursing student. I got in touch with my inner nursing self as I cried with my patients and laughed with my patients. So far, I have about 9 thank you notes and letters from patients that I had taken care of over the summer in a green box. As nerdy as it sounds, I occasionally open them all up and read them all over again just to remind myself the beauty and power behind nursing. The word for nurse in Chinese is 护士, which literally translates into a protective warrior. Indeed, a nurse is truly a warrior for all the sacrifices that he or she makes toward the benefits of the patients. A nurse may not be able to cure all her patients, but the nurse strives to protect every single one of them during the most vulnerable times. And with these compelling and inspiring nursing ideals, I will end my life story, but not completely, though, because the best are still to be